निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे युगधम हरिनाम संकीर्तन की श्रीला प्रभुपाद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की गुरवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय ददालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, you are all welcome for continuity of Bhakti. We have a study of 6th canto of Srimad Bhagvatam. We are discussing chapter 17. Mother Parvati curses Chitraketu. Yesterday we completed up till verse 15. This section was cursing Chitraketu by Mother Parvati. So this curse was actually a mercy, because this curse was inspired by Supreme Lord from within the heart of Mother Parvati, because Lord was feeling separation from his dear devotee Chitraketu. The wrong on the part of Chitraketu was that his intention was good, but his action was not good. His intention was good, but his action was not good. His intention was that Lord Shiva should be exemplary for the people to follow. But the way he spoke, that was a little harsh. Why wanted Shiva to have a exemplary behavior like Lord Vishnu? Because the people like Daksha should not be victims of offense towards great Vaishnava. This was the mood. So now Chitraketu, this section is 16 to 25. Chitraketu speaks to Mother Parvati. Sri Shuka Vacha, Evam Shaptas means cursed. Chitraketu was in this way cursed. Vimanad avarohya sa. He just got down from his aeroplane. Who gave the aeroplane to the Chitraketu? Vishnu Dattva, given by Supreme Lord. Prasadyam asasatim moho murdhanaha namerena bharata. Bharat is a address to Maharaj Parikshit. Murdhana nameran means he mowed down his head. Murdhan means head. Murdhan means top part of the body. So he bowed down. Prasadayam asatim. He wanted actually to Prasadayam Srila Prabhupada completely please. He wanted to completely please. Prasadayam Prakarstena Rupena means completely. He wanted to please Mother Parvati because she felt offended. So Srila Prabhupada translates. Sri Sukdev Goswami continued. My dear King Parikshit, when Chitraketu was cursed by Parvati, he descended from his aeroplane, bowed before her with great humility, and pleased her completely. So there's no purport on this verse. Next verse, Chitraketu Vacha. Pratigranami te shapam, I am accepting your curse. Pratigranami means I am accepting your curse. Atmano Anjali Ambike, myself with folded hands. Anjali means hands. Ambike means mother. Dever martyahe yata proktam purva dishtam hi tasya tata. It means it's my karma. It's not nothing wrong with you. So Chitraketu said, my dear mother Ambika, with my own hands folded together, Anjali, I accept the curse upon me. I do not mind the curse, for happiness and distress are given by the demigods. It means destiny, as a result of one's past deeds, karma. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Since Chitraketu was devotee of the Lord, how he become devotee of the Lord? How Chitraketu become devotee of Lord?
The mercy of Lord Muni and Angira.
He was blessed by Narad directly and Angira both. So it means association of the devotee give rise to devotion. So he was a devotee. And he was not at all disturbed by the curse of Mother Parvati. He knew very well that one suffer or enjoy the result of one's past deeds as ordained by Deva Netre. Deva Netra, superior authority, are the agents of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who is actually the agent of this Supreme Lord who destine the suffering or enjoyment of living entities?
Prakriti, materiality.
Yes, this sound is a little echoing, no, in the mic. Yes, I think who said from the online devotees? When?
Prakriti, materiality.
Advait, you are saying?
Yes.
What is your answer?
I said Prakriti, material nature.
Prakriti, material nature. She is Durga, having trident and giving miseries and also happiness. That's okay, that's one. Yamara, Dharmaraj, after death, I mean, or before death even. Do you know Brahma is called Vidhata? Brahma is called Vidhata. And he writes the destiny of every living entity when he is born. Is it right? He is Vidhata. And There are so many witnesses for our action. We have seen in a different section of Bhagavatam, the sun is a witness, moon is a witness, the direction our witness. So there are so many demigods presiding over the senses, they are witness, but ultimately Brahma is Vidhata. The destiny of the living entity is ultimately ordained by Brahma. Am I right? What do you think? Hare Krishna. Anybody has any question? Yamaraj punishes when we go there after leaving body. But we are in the material world, when we are happy, when we are enjoying our suffering, it is because of the Vidhata. What do you think, Nilamani?
Yes, but is it not true Yamaraj
But,
agents
yeah.
are recording all through the life?
But ultimately, who create the living entities? Secondary creator is Brahma. And because ultimately the karmas are given to the Brahma to make the bodies. He is making bodies, not the Yamaraj. The one who makes the body, he destined, he is going to suffer or enjoy. So Vidhata is the right person. Maybe you do a little research on your own, but I am saying this is the way you question among yourself. This is a Deva Netrena. This word, where is this word in the Bhagavatam?
Chapter 3 or 4, canto 3 or 4.
Deva Netran is a word where the impregnation of the ovum by the sperm, all sperms don't have soul. That soul is put in that specific sperm by Deva Netran. This is the verse in that section of Bhagavatam.
3:31:1.
Huh?
3:31:1.
3:31:1. So it means this is what they call Garbha Gita. How the living entity come in this world, which is a question asked by Devhuti and Kadam Muni is speaking. So there is the word Dev Netrana there. So already, all sperm don't have the living entity, only the specific, and that is destined which living entity will go in which womb, who is going to be mother, father, what the suffering or happiness he will get. All this is destined by Vidhata. And I think we have heard this word Vidhata somewhere. Recently I was teaching the periods of the Brahma in Bhakti Vedanta in Bangalore, some section. So where the word Vidhata is used for Brahma, who design the destiny of the living entities. And he's created the different species of life. Right? Okay, we are continuing. If you have any doubt, we can discuss or you can do research. The word Prabhupada says agents. So it's not one agent, there are many agents. He knew that he had not committed any offense. So Chitraketu knew that he has not committed any offense because his intention was good. At the lotus feet of Lord Shiva and or the goddess Parvati both. Yet he had been punished, and this means that the punishment had been ordained by superior authority. So from within his own heart he is thinking, I was not actually criticizing or doing offense or insulting Shiva. My intention was good. This is Chitraketu thinking himself. Thus the king did not mind Chitraketu. A devotee is naturally so humble and meek that he accepts any condition of life as the blessing from the Lord. This is the principle. This is a principle deducted from this episode. And then Srila Prabhupada support this statement, principle, by quoting a verse from Brahma, periods of the Brahma. Tatte anukampam sumikshamana tatte bhunjita. That is the verse. A devotee always accepts punishment from anyone as the mercy of the Lord. It is for my purification. I know among devotees when somebody criticizes or somebody punish him, then senior devotee says, well, it is for my purification. It is for my purification. Even Srila Prabhupada, somebody was in the audience and he was offensive. Prabhupada said, it may be my past karma. Prabhupada says, it's my past karma. Prabhupada has no past karma, but he was acting as an exemplary devotee, that devotee is not agitated by, personally he is not agitated for his insult or punishment something, but some other Vaishnava is insulted, then he becomes furious. If somebody is criticizing Supreme Lord, then he cannot tolerate. But for himself, he is tolerant. If one lives in this conception of life, he sees whatever reverses occur to be due to his past misdeeds, and therefore he never accuses anyone. Anybody said like that you have heard earlier in the Bhagavatam? Bull in the form of dharma. When Parikshit Maharaj asked, who has punished you? He said, nobody. So it means the Dharmaraj is one of the Mahajans. So this is a Vaishnava behavior. And other point coming in my mind when I am reading this, Bhisham, they have told, now the other aspect of this concept, devotees has no past karma. Yeah, see the next, another point of view, devotee has no past karma. But he has some offenses. He has no past karma, but he has some offenses. This is one aspect, one point of view. The other point of view is, as Prahlad, as Bhisham Pitama says, Maharaj Yudhishthir, you have so many reverses in your life, it is not because of your karma. It is not even because of any offense, but it is the desire of Krishna. And time is under control of Krishna. Because he wanted you to shine in the world. Like when gold is put on the fire to purify it. So Lord wants to purify his devotee by putting him in some special task. So now we have three point of view on this. It is the karma, simple devotee will think like that. Though it is not a karma, it may be some offense. It is either karma or offense, or it is the mercy of the Lord. He wants to really make him known to the world as a great devotee. Okay, now, on the contrary, he becomes increasingly attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. On the contrary means never accuse anyone. On the contrary, he becomes increasingly attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because of his being purified by his suffering. So, punishment is purification. Punishment from in any way is purification. That's what in general, punishment in the jail is for a purification of a victim. That he should become purified, not to commit same thing again. So general rule is same. Suffering, therefore, is also a process of purification, a principle. In Hindi, I used to say one thing, apaman means somebody is disrespected. Apaman means disrespected. Man means respect and Apaman means disrespected. Man is finished. Means finished. That will lead to search for Bhagavan. If somebody dishonor you, there's a good chance you might look for God. The Vidura is an example and Dhruva Maharaj is an example. Both were insulted and both directly realized Supreme Lord. So this is the same principle. Purification is suffering is purification. I think this is a personal application. This section is a personal application in devotee's life. How he faced the reverses in his life. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says in this connection that one who has developed the Krishna consciousness means love of God. And who exists in love with Krishna, further, is no longer subject to suffering and happiness under law of karma. This is the rule I told you. Because devotee is not under which principle, how you justify this statement. By which quote? Because devotee is in Krishna consciousness. You are all in Krishna consciousness. So why there is no karma for you? Which is the principle? Somebody was saying from the online?
Krishna says, Sarva Dharma Parityajam Amekam Sarvam.
Krishna says, Sarva Dharma Parityajam. I am looking for another answer. On this level are gopis only, not we practicing devotees. I am looking for a good answer.
In 7th chapter there is a last.
Yes?
Chapter Bhagavad Gita last verse. Whose sinful activity.
Chanting the holy name of Krishna.
Whose sinful
The example of
activity.
Rajuni.
Chanting holy name of Krishna. The mother here, doctor is saying anesthetist.
Bhagavad Gita 7 chapter last verse is there.
It's unaudible. We can have this microphone move around to hear. Anyway, you all know the answer, but you are not really digging in. Tesham Antgatam Papam Jananam Punyakaram Te Dvanamo Nirmukta Bhajante Mam Dridvarta. Bhagavad Gita, when they are freed from all sinful deeds, then they can engage in my bhajan. This is a good verse quoted from Bhagavad Gita for this. But still I am looking for another answer which you all know. In a sadhan bhakti, what are the two characteristics? Kleshagni. This is Kleshagni. Our prarabdha and aprarabdha are finished by sadhan bhakti, right? This is the Bhagavad Gita verse is also very good, but this is the answer. Kleshagni. In sadhana bhakti, when one reaches to the nishtha, all the impression of the karmas, both prarabdha and aprarabdha, manifest and unmanifest, are over. Right?
Prabhuji, I want to ask one thing. I want to ask that, like this is the one thing, Kleshagni. So, like we say, at the time of initiation, Guru takes our karma. So, is it?
This is also a principle. You are asking the question which I think once I have discussed, I don't know,
yes,
with you.
Yes, you have discussed, but I was not clear on that.
I discussed it like that. This is the general understanding that when somebody is initiated by a spiritual master, master takes all the karmas. How? By instructing in sadhan bhakti. And that sadhan bhakti itself is so powerful as a klesha gani, all karmas are destroyed. So it's not that a spiritual master is taking karma. He is giving the process by which karmas are finished. That is really the right understanding. It's not that a spiritual master is a bag and you put your karma.
But still many people say that, no, they take our karma, that's why they get...
This is a wrong concept. It means they are not following the principle which were given by a spiritual master. So
Guruji, if we are still getting the karma, like we see according to astrology, we are still getting the same things, which is destined. So that means we are not following the process properly.
If you are not following, it means the karma will stay, and then spiritual master will feel a little, Krishna will say, what type of disciple you have brought who is not following any rules? So he will not be very much appreciated as a representative of Krishna, because Krishna says this is not good, your disciple is doing nonsense. So that is okay. That is okay. Therefore, Prabhupada said, okay, if he is not following, then I am not responsible for him. So Guru has a right also to renounce the disciple if he is not following. So how can I show my face to Krishna? That's what they say if you don't follow. But principle is Klesha Gani by sadhana bhakti. Otherwise we usually say, we put this is a Christian, then there is a Christian type of thought. You give your all sin to the Jesus and you are free from that. That's not a proper concept. Okay. The Brahma Samhita says, Karamani niradahanti kinto cha bhakti bhajan. A devotee is free from reaction of his karma because he has taken to devotional service. This is Klesha Gani. This same principle is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Sagunan samataite tan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. There is another verse quoted. This is after avibhicharane bhakti yogena sagunan samataite tan. So this is the stage getting free from three modes of material nature. So ultimately all the karmas are due to three modes of material nature. So one has to be free from three modes of material nature. This is another point of view, how one be free from the karma when he is free from three modes of material nature. And thus he immediately become Brahma Bhuta, or the transcendental. Srimad Bhagvatam is as the same thing. He become 4:30:20, or transcendental. He become Brahma Bhuta. This is also expressed in Srimad Bhagavatam 1-21. Chayanti chasya karamani. Where is this verse? Prabhupada, he is given 1-21. This is the bhakti process. It's called Bhagavad Dharma or bhakti process. Okay. Srila Prabhupada's purport is still continuing. The Lord is very kind and affectionate toward his devotee, and therefore a devotee in any condition is not subjected to result of karma. A devotee never aspires for the heavenly planet. The heavenly planet, liberation and hell are non-different for a devotee. For he does not discriminate between the different positions in the material world. Because all they are in material world, hell, heaven, whatever. A devotee is always eager to return back home, back to Godhead, and remain there as Lord's associate. This ambition becomes increasingly fervent in his heart, and therefore he does not care about material changes in his life, which means reverses. Srila Vishwanath Thakur comments that Maharaj Chitraketu's being cursed by Parvati should be considered the mercy of the Lord. The Lord wanted Chitraketu to return to Godhead as soon as possible, and therefore he terminated all the reactions of his past deeds, acting through the heart of Parvati. The Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart, cursed Chitraketu in order to end all his material reaction. Thus Chitraketu became Virtasura in the next life and return home back to Godhead. Chakravartipad writes, I accept the curse. This is Chitraketu said. There is no harm in accepting this curse, since I have not offended you or Shiva. And there is no fault in your cursing me, though I am innocent. I am simply receiving my karma. The devotee should feel like this out of humility. Actually, however, the devotee who has developed prem has no trace of karma at all. For even from the stage previous to prem, all karma are destroyed. Vidyante hridaya grantis chindyante sarva sanksha charanti chasi karmani drishtaha eva atma ishvare atman ishvare. Ignorance is cut. What is this ignorance? False ego. Granthi is falling. Knot is false ego. The doubts are destroyed. On seeing the Lord in the mind with the eyes, all karmas are destroyed. The Lord could not be controlled by bhakti if the devotee still has karma. If the devotee still has karma, Lord cannot be controlled. One who is under the control of karma does not control the Lord. In order to announce the great strength of the devotees, seeing equally curse, blessing, swarg, means heaven, liberation and hell. In order to remove the improper life of Chitraketu as the leader of the Vidyadhara. In order to increase Chitraketu's hunger for prem by the fire of separation, Vipralamba. In order to bestow enjoyment of great sweetness of direct service to his lotus feet and Vaikuntha, Sankrishna inspired Devi to curse him out of affection as a father. That is the conclusion. This will be understood from seeing the results. Is it okay?
Here in first line it was written, Lord could not be controlled by bhakti if devotee still has karma. So these karma diminishes with the time, or they can be diminished in short time also.
This is what Krishna says. Because people usually in karma kanda, so their karma continues, so they cannot control me. This is recently when we are discussing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance in this world. It says most of our incarnation, they establish the dharma, but they cannot give the really prema bhakti. And only the prema bhakti can eradicate the karma. So Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are especially coming with this intention that they give the love of God. By that only, Lord says, I cannot be controlled by even bhakti which is mixed with Aishwarya. So what to speak with the karma? Even that bhakti which is mixed with Aishwarya, I am not controlled by that. I don't relish that. I need bhakti, only prema bhakti pure, without, unmixed with the Aishwarya. So, I say reciprocally, as the karmas decreases, as love increases, karma decreases, you can say. As our devotion goes further, the karma decreases. I mean, karma decreases means repeated birth and death decreases. So it means when we go back to Godhead, when we finish the all karmasyan, all the impression of karma. But to control Lord is something more. This is the nature of the wheel of sansar, connection with the previous verse. The next verse 18. This is the nature of the wheel of sansar, means repeated birth and death. It is not surprising. Therefore, my dear mother, neither you nor I am to be blamed for this incident. You are instrument, I am instrument. Any such example where both are instrument? Parikshit Maharaj himself was cursed. He is an instrument. How can he be angry on a rishi? Not possible. And how a rishi can curse a Brahman? Not possible. So this is also, for the appearance of Bhagavatam, this is arranged. This is for the appearance of Bhagavatam, this is arranged. Same thing, same mood. Sansara chakre etasmin jantoho ajnana mohitaha Brahmayam sukham cha dukkham cha bhunkate sarvatra sarvada. This is a principle. This verse is principle. Chitraketu is speaking. Deluded by ignorance, the living entity wanders in the forest of this material world, enjoying the happiness and distress resulting from his past deeds everywhere and all time. Therefore, my dear mother, neither you nor I am to be blamed for this incident. Srila Prabhupada writes, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Prakriti kriyamani gunahi karmani sarvasa vimudatma kartam iti manyate. So, actually a conditioned soul is completely under the control of material nature. Wandering here and there, always, yantra rudhani mayaya, is like a machine going up and down. Kabhi sarage, dubaye, kabhi narake, this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Sometimes he goes up, sometimes he goes down. He foolishly thinks himself the doer, which is in fact he is not. To get free from the karma chakra, the wheel of result of one's karma, one should take to bhakti marga, the devotional service or Krishna consciousness. That is the only remedy. Sarvadhavan parityajamam ekam sharanam braja. So Prabhupada is quoting this, and Chakravarti Sabhat says, this is the nature of the wheel of sansar. It is not surprising. This is natural. Verse number 19. Naivatmana paraschapi means not oneself, not by somebody else. Paras means somebody else. Atma means oneself. Karta syada sukha dukkhayo, for happiness and distress, neither I am responsible nor others. Who is responsible? Kartaram manyate atragya, the one who is ignorant, he thinks like that. Atmanam param evacha. In this material world, neither the living entity himself nor others, friends or enemies, are the cause of material happiness and distress. But because of gross ignorance, the living entity thinks that he and others are the causes. And this whole world is like that. My brother has given me trouble, my friend has cheated me, my wife has left me. This all is because of ignorance, right?
This thing is again and again presented in Bhagavatam.
Again?
This thing, this philosophy, like a devotee comes to Lord, and then he speaks about that I was in.
Ultimately, who is the ultimately when soul is not responsible, who is responsible? This is the question. There is a verse in Bhagavad Gita which clearly says who is responsible. And this verse is in chapter 5.
In Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, there is verse from the 5 things which are responsible.
The word, exact word is there. The exact word is there. Responsibilities on who's? Yes, somebody is saying from our online friends.
Chapter 3,
Can you hear? I think Advaita is saying, Advaita, you are here?
Yeah, I'm saying Prakriti Priyamanani, 327.
It says Subhavastu Pravartate. This is the verses Subhavastu Pravartate. It is the material nature. Subhavastu Pravartate. The living entity is forced by his nature. Subhav. And how somebody's nature is formed? What is the mechanism for somebody's nature to be formed? Huh? Sanskaras are the nature. Sanskaras are nature actually.
According to one's act.
Formed by 3 modes of material nature. Our nature is formed by 3 modes of material nature. And what is the place where mode of 3 material nature exert their influence to form the nature?
Mind.
not only man, but the subtle body or antahkaran. Therefore, we carry our subhav from one life to other life. Therefore, in 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it said some are demonic by nature from birth and some are divine by nature from birth. Right? Abhijatasya. Abhijatasya means from birth. Right? So philosophically, it is the nature of a person who forces to perform the karma. And nature is a influence of three modes of material nature. Is it okay? Clear? Theme is okay? Oh, Advaita, what your hand is up?
Yeah, Guru, I have a question. There's two things I was considering it separately. I don't know whether I'm right, but I put it in front of you and you can correct me. So when someone comes in this world, okay, he is coming as a result of his fallen karma, he is, whatever fructified as karma, he gets a particular body. Right, and that is also, that gives him particular nature. And then further karma will pile on that swabhava to give him more karma or positive or negative, right? So isn't there, therefore, when someone is born, at the actual time of birth, of course it is the result of karma, but whatever he is coming in the world with dhata he is in, is an acquired nature, right? Which is called swabhava. Which is the result of previous sum total result of all karmas, which means that you get a particular intelligence, a particular color, a particular mother, father, a particular body.
So what you are saying
is this also sometimes called swabhava?
What you are saying is something like prarabdha karma and aprarabdha karma, which some are manifest, some are unmanifested.
Yeah.
Well, there are in the one life, that's right. But what I am saying, ultimately these karmas, who is forcing somebody to do the karma? Like for example, who is forcing us to do the sinful activities? What is the answer given by Krishna and Bhagavad Gita? And from where they are coming? Rajoguna samudbhava. They are coming from mode of passion. They are coming from mode of passion. So ultimately it is three modes of material nature which forces us in certain special type of habit by which we perform karma, and that give rise to impression, and that continue again as a cycle. Okay? The ignorance continues. Ignorance continues very strongly in the mode of ignorance presented by material nature. One must therefore promote himself to this stage of goodness. It means we have to come from the mode of ignorance to goodness. And Prabhupada said, I established this ISKCON to bring people to mode of goodness. Through his character, which means behavior, character and behavior, and then gradually come to the transcendent platform or adhokshaja platform. Now Prabhupada is using the different word, completely different word, adhokshaja platform. Adho means below, akshat means senses. So he should be above these senses, which means he should be free from sense enjoying mentality. Adhokshaja platform is a Brahmabhuta stage. The another word for Adhokshaja platform is Brahmabhuta. So earlier Prabhupada used Brahmabhuta, now he is saying Adhokshaja platform, in which he realizes both his position and the position of others. And this is the word Atmani Ishware, Drishtati Atmani Ishware, in the verse earlier and second canto. Yeah. Everything is done under the superintendence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The process by which the result of the actions are ordained is called Niyatam, Niyati. Generally in our language, it's called Niyati. Niyati, this is Niyatam, same word. It is by the Niyati, always working, Niyati. When Prabhupada is writing, everything is done under the superintendence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are 5 karta. Now you go to the Bhagavad Gita, there are 5 doers. Adhishtanam, karta, karanam, cheshta, and devam. And this devam Prabhupada is quoting here as a super. So ultimately karta Prabhupada is speaking. Who is the doer? Chakravarti Pada only says, one with no discrimination, apragya. Verse number 20. Guna pravaha etasmin kaha shapa kona anugraha kaha swargo narko kova kima sukham dukham evava. This is Chitraketu's philosophy. This material world resembles the waves of constant flowing river. Therefore, what is the curse and what is favor? What is the heavenly planet and what are the hellish planets? What is actually happiness and what is actually distress? Because the waves flow constantly, none of them has any eternal effect. Because they all are temporary, because the material world is temporary. The waves goes up and comes down, continues. The river of the guna, whose waves of the 3 modes of material nature. Sometimes somebody is carried up by ignorance and then turns down and then goes as a patient, then turns down, goes as a goodness. That's what it means. Bhakti Vinod Thakur sings, Maya rabashe yache bhese kacha habo dobo bhai. My dear living entities, friend, within this material world, why are you being carried away by the waves of various modes of material nature? So waves are the modes of material nature. Jiva Krishna Dasa Ei Vishvasa Kare Leta Ara Dukha Nahi. If the living entity tries to understand that he is an eternal servant of Krishna, there will no longer be misery for him. Krishna wants us to give up all other engagement and surrender unto him. Sardarvan Pariteja. If one do so, where will be the cause and effect of this material world be? Because there is no karma. And there is no karma, no birth and death. There is nothing like cause and effect for super soul. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says in this regard that being put into this material world is like being thrown in a mine of salt. If one falls into the mine of salt, he tastes only salt wherever he goes. Similarly, this material world is full of miseries. The so-called temporary happiness material world is also a misery, but in ignorance we cannot understand this. This is the actual position. When one comes to his senses, when he becomes Krishna consciousness, he is no longer concerned with the various conditions of this material world. He is not concerned with the happiness or distress, curse or favor, or heavenly or hellish planets. He sees no distinction between them because they all are in this material world. Chakravarti Bhat says, it has been said that one should accept happiness and distress. Everything that falls into salt mine becomes salty. Thus everything that falls into sansar, means in this material world, becomes sansar. One should not make distinction of happiness, suffering at all. As long as person who has fallen into the bottomless river does not reach the shore, he cannot attain real happiness. Thus, curses, blessings are all suffering as long as we are in this material world. Bottomless river. What is this bottomless river? Who throws a person into the river of the guna, bottomless river? It means this karma is from time immemorial. That is bottomless river is like that. From time immemorial, we are in this material world. Since time immemorial. So who throw a person in river of guna and who delivers him? There is a connection with the previous verse. Verse number 21. Ekasrajati bhutani Bhagavan Atma Mayaya Esham bandham cha moksham cha sukham dukkham cha nishkalaha. Supreme Personality of Godhead is one, unaffected by the condition of material world. He created all the conditioned soul by his own personal potency. Because of being contaminated by the material energy, living entities put into the ignorance and thus into the different condition of the bondage. Sometime by knowledge, the living entity is given liberation. In Sattva Guna and Rajo Guna, he is subjected to happiness and distress. When he is in goodness, he is happy. When he is in mode of passion, he is miserable. The Lord unaffected by Maya. Question may be raised, why the living entities are situated in different condition? And who has arranged this? The answer is that it has been done by the Supreme Personality of Godhead without anyone's help. The Lord has his own energies, Parasya Shakti Vivadhai Shruyate. Parasya Shakti Vivadhai Shruyate. And one of them, namely external energy, create the material world and the varieties of the happiness and distress for the conditioned soul under the supervision of Lord. The material world consists of three modes of material nature, Sattva, Rajo, Tamo Guna. And by Sattva Guna, Lord maintained the material world, Rajo Guna he created, and Tamo Guna he annihilated. After the varieties of living entities are created, they are subject to happiness and distress according to their association of different modes. When they are in Sattva Guna, the mode of goodness, they feel happiness. When in Rajo Guna, they feel distress. And when Tamo Guna, they have no sense of what to do and what not to do, right or wrong. Chakravarti Pad writes, who threw a person into the river of Guna and who deliver him? The Lord does this. How? By his Maya. By Rajas, the Lord create. By Sattva, he maintain. And by Tamas, he destroy. By Vidya, he create. By Avidya, he create bondage. And by Vidya, he gives liberation. By Sattva, he create happiness. And by Rajas, he creates suffering. The Lord is devoid of Maya. Nishkala. Nishkala. This material nature has three aspects. In third canto of Bhagvatam. What are three aspects? Pradhan, by which the all material ingredients of this material world, all the bodies of the living entities are created, and that is real. That is real. Pradhan, which is part of the external energy, is real. Then the second aspect of the material nature or Maya is avidya or ignorance, which have five characteristics. Avidya, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha, asmita. Asmita. These are five characteristics of ignorance. Pancha Maya Parva. Vidya, avidya. And then also Vidya is third part of the material energy is Vidya. Vidya, avidya and Pradhan. Pradhan is real. Avidya is not real. Ignorance is not real. And from ignorance, by Vidya he is delivered. So Vidya is also aspect of the Maya. Why Brahma created this? In third canto it says, Brahma says living entities are not, they are all attached to the Lord. They cannot be distracted. So for this creation to continue, I have to create the avidya. And there the avidya is Tamasra, Mahatamasra. They are same, exactly same names. But these names are from Patanjali and they are from the Bhagvatam. Avidya, Rag, Dvesh, Abhinvesh and Asmita. 5. Avidya. This Brahma created this. This is material nature. So verse number 22.
Prabhuji, will you please elaborate more on
Huh?
Asmita and Ayudesh? Will you please elaborate more on Asmita and
This is something 5. You can find the meaning of this Rag, Dvesh, Avidya and Asmita, and Abhinvesh means false identification. And the Abhinvesh is false. So one is ego and one is false identification with the body. Asmita, something like that. So verse 22. Natasya kasya daitaha priyato na jati bandhu na paro na cha swaha samasya sarvatra niranjanasya sukhe cha ragah kuta eva rosha. This is again the philosophy. Does the Lord then favor some jiva and hate other jivas because he binds some and liberates others and he gives others happiness? No. The Supreme Law, God, Supreme Person of God is equally towards all the living entities. He is equal to all the living entities. Therefore, no one is very dear to him and no one is a great enemy for him. No one is his friend and no one is his relative. Being unattached to the material world, he has no affection for so-called happiness or hatred or so-called distress. The two terms happiness and distress are relative. Since the Lord is always happy, for him there is no question of distress. Niranjan. He is not affected by these. So, Samoham Sarvabhuteshi, Bhagavad Gita has similar verse. Srila Prabhupada, no commentary. Chakravarti Pad writes, Lord then favors some jiva and hate others jiva. This is not so. He does not have favorite or enemies because he regards all equally in all times. Because he's why? Because he's not affected by Maya, Niranjan. He has no attachment to material happiness. What then to speak of hatred for anything opposing material happiness? It is said, Indriyasya indriyasya arthe rag dvesh vivasto tayorna vasam agachas tau hi asya paripantinu. Bhagavad Gita. Attachment and repulsion are firmly fixed in each of the senses of objects. Sense of object means somebody we like, somebody we don't like by seeing. Somebody we want to hear, somebody we want to hear. Something we want to taste, something we don't want. This is called. So, Lord has no attachment to the material world, therefore he is free from this. Thus, he does not have the favorite or enemies caused by attachment or repulsion. So, he is above that. Verse number 23. Tathapi tashakti visarga esham sukhaya dukhaya hita ahitaya bandhaya mokshaya cha mrityu janamayo sharirinam sangshutyaiva kalpate. Although the Supreme Lord is unattached to our happiness and distress according to karma, and though no one is his enemy or favorite, he creates pious and impious activities through the agency of his material energy. Thus, for the continuation of materialistic way of life, he creates happiness and distress, good fortune and bad fortune, and liberation, birth and death. So it's like God is impartial. He is partially impartial. So he's partially impartial. He gives everybody same facility. He created, say, like hell and heaven. Now your choice where you want to go. And he said also, my devotion and come to me. So he is impartially partial. He gave equal chance to all, but he is partial to his devotee. Because he's partial to a devotee, this is not his fault. This is his ornament. For the continuation of material life, Lord creates duality. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is ultimate doer of everything in his original transcendental existence, he is not responsible for the happiness and distress or bondage and liberation of the conditioned soul. These are due to the result of the fruitive activities of the living entities within the material world. By the order of the judge, analogy, there's one analogy. By the order of a judge, one person is released from the jail and another is imprisoned. But the judge is not responsible for the distress and happiness of these different people. It is due to their own activities. Although the government is ultimately the supreme authority, another example. Although the government is ultimately the supreme authority, the justice is administered by the Department of Government. And the government is not responsible for the individual's judgment. Therefore, government is equal to all citizens. So government here represents Supreme Lord. And judge is the agent. And punishment is according to the karma of a person or action of a person. Similarly, Supreme Lord is neutral to everyone, like a government. But for the maintenance of the law and order, his supreme government has various departments which control the activities of the living entities, and one is the material energy. Another example, another analogy is given in this regard is that lilies open or close because of the sunshine. And thus the bumblebees enjoy or suffer. Lilies open, they enjoy, lilies close, they suffer. But the sunshine and the sun globe are not responsible for happiness and distress of bumblebees. So there are two analogies in this purport. Chakravarti Pad has almost same thing. But if the Lord is equal, why does he make one person happy and cause grief to another? Even though he is equal in all circumstances. By the transformation of his Maya Shakti, the sequence of beginningless karma arises. This is bottomless river. Bottomless river is sequence of beginningless karma. Bottomless river is sequence of beginningless karma. From the piety and sin create happiness and distress. The meaning is this: even though the Lord create happiness and distress, since Maya Shakti belongs to him, and in that sense he shows inequality. He does not create happiness and distress since Maya is not his Swarup Shakti. Thus the Lord is actually equal to all. Maya is not Swarup Shakti. Maya created this, and Maya is Krishna's, so Krishna is responsible. No, because it's not Krishna's Swarup Shakti. So it's like a government. Ultimately, government is responsible, but judge is giving the judgment, not the president or prime minister. Thus, the Lord is actually equal to all. Similarly, the universe of Maya is the form of the Lord, but because it is not arising from his Swarup Shakti, it is different from him. Thus, the sun appears to be unequal because he gives sorrow to the owl and night lotus by its rays, and gives happiness to the chakravak birds and the day lotus. No one says sun is partial. So Prabhupada has given the lily, and the same example is given here by the owl and night lotus. Verse 24. Athapasadyai natvam, please be pleased with me. Shapa mokshaya bhamini, I am not wanting to be free from this curse. Yanmanyasehi asadhu karam, if I have done some mistake. Mam tata kshamatvam sati, please forgive me. O mother, you are now unnecessarily angry. But since all my happiness and blisters are destined by my past activities, I do not plead to be excused or relieved from your curse. Although what I have said is not wrong, please let whatever you think is wrong be pardoned. If you think there is something wrong, please forgive me. Srila Prabhupada writes, being fully aware of how the result of one's karma occurred by law of nature, Chitraketu did not want to be released from the Parvati's curse. Nonetheless, he wanted to satisfy her because although his verdict was natural, she was displeased with him. As a matter of course, Maharaj Chitraketu begged pardon from Parvati. I wrote to one of Maharaj that, Maharaj, please pardon me. In the beginning, we might have committed some offenses. Say, I don't remember, but if you have asked me, I pardon you. He wrote me answer like this. I don't remember, but if you have asked, I pardon you. So it's something like that. Though I am not, I don't know, but if you think I have committed some offenses, please pardon me. Therefore, I do not please you just to get free from curse. I don't want to please you because I want to free from curse. Oh angry woman, you have become angry without considering properly. Then why do you please me? What you consider improper words, let them be improper. But please forgive me for that. During the curse and after the curse, I have no desire or happiness. Therefore, being satisfied, do not withdraw the curse. Some last verse of this section. Sri Shukovacha iti prasadaya grisho chitraketor arindama jagamasva vimanena pashyantoho samantayos tayoho. Sri Shukdev Goswami continued, King Parikshat, subduer of the enemy, Aridaman. After Chitraketu satisfied Shiva and his wife, Grisha, Shiva, he boarded his aeroplane and left as they looked on. When Lord Shiva and Parvati saw that Chitraketu, although informed of the curse, he was unafraid, they smiled, fully astonished by his behavior. Pashyato samyato. Samyato means smiled. They smiled. Why they smiled? Next section. 26 to 38. Lord Shiva talks to Parvati and he glorifies devotees. 26. Tatastu Bhagavan Rudro Rudrani Midam Abrvit Devrushi Daitya Siddhanam Parshadanam Cha Shranvatam. So he was speaking to the Parvati, but all were hearing. It's not like in confidence, no. Thereafter, in the presence of the great sages Narada and the demons, the inhabitant of Siddhalok and his personal associate, Lord Shiva, who is most powerful, spoke to his wife Parvati while they are all listening. So this is a gentleman. He was speaking publicly. What is he speaking? Shri Rudravacha. Drishtaveti asi sushroni. Sushroni, oh beautiful Parvati. Drishtvaiti asi sushroni hare radbhut karmana. See, Lord is wonderful. His activities are wonderful. His devotees are extraordinary. Mahatmayam Bhritya Bhrityanam, and you can see the greatness of the devotee of a servant of a Lord. Nishprananam Mahatmanam Nishpranam, no desires. Mahatmanam. Lord Shiva said, my dear beautiful Parvati, have you seen the greatness of the Vaishnava? Being servant of the Supreme Personality of Lord, Bhrityanam, they are great souls, Mahatma, and are not interested in any kind of material happiness. Nesh Pranana. Srila Prabhupada writes, Lord Shiva, the husband of Parvati, told his wife, my dear Parvati, you are very beautiful in your bodily feature. Certainly you are glorious, but I do not think that you can compete with the beauty of glory of devotees who have become servant of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, Lord Shiva smiled when he joked with his wife in that way, for others cannot speak like that. Nobody else can say Parvati like that. Thus Supreme Lord, this is the reason he smiled. The Supreme Lord, Shiva continued, is always, the Supreme Lord, Shiva continued, is always exalted in his activities. Adbhut Karmana. And there is another example of his wonderful influence upon the king Kshetraketu, his devotee. Just see, although you cursed the king, he was not at all afraid or sorry. Rather, he offered respect to you, called you mother, and accepted your curse, thinking himself faulty. He did not say anything in retaliation. This is the excellence of a devotee. By mildly tolerating your curse, he has certainly exceeded the glories of your beauty and your power to curse him. I can impartially judge that this devotee, Chitraketu, has defeated you and your excellence simply by becoming a pure devotee of the Lord. As stated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Tarorapi Sahishanuna, just like tree, a devotee can tolerate all kinds of curses and reversals in life. This is the excellence of a devotee. Indirectly, Lord Shiva forbade Parvati to commit the mistake of cursing a devotee like Chitraketu. Indirectly. He indicated that although she was powerful, the king, without showing any power, had exceeded her power by his tolerance. It means more power in his intolerance rather than being angry. This is the conclusion. O woman with beautiful hips, you excel in beauty but not in bhakti. Gyan and Vairagya. Chakravarti is saying you are less than Chitraketu in bhakti, Gyan and Vairagya. In this way he jokes suggestively. Lord perform astonishing act, Adbhut Karmana. I have seen this astonishing act of the Lord just now. He has caused you to be offended and utter a curse. He has shown the greatness of his devotee, whose prem did not decrease at all by showing the devotee's power to remain indifferent when cursed by Parvati. The word Mahatmana of the great devotees are significant. If the curse you uttered in anger cannot give the slightest unhappiness to him, then that curse is powerless. It has become useless. You should not treat the great devotees having prema bhakti like this. From this day on, this lesson is hinted. Prabhupada says indirectly. Verse 28. This is the very famous word, I think, for everybody to memorize, I think. This is in a folio, is in a bilu. You have no books? What is your book, Mama? You keep books, okay? No, you are seeing here, okay? Now, do you recite with me this verse, because this is a very important verse. Narayana paraha sarave na kutaschin bibhyati swaraga apavarga narkaesho apitulyartha darshana. So this is a verse which needs to be memorized. Devotees solely engaged in the devotional service of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan, never fear any condition of life. For them, heavenly planet, liberation, and hellish planets are all safe. For such devotees are interested only in the service of the Lord. Dharmaraj was going once, Yudhishthira Maharaj, when he reached to the region of the hell, everybody was jubilant and happy. He said, if they are happy by me being here, then I would like to stay here and make them happy. So devotees don't really. Prabhupada, you want to go to the Bowery where there are all hippies? Oh yes, if they can hear Hare Krishna, I will go there. So this is the devotee is never afraid in all service. Parvati might naturally have inquired how devotee become exalted. Question. Therefore, this verse explained that they are Narayan Para. Because they are, why he's asking me unmute. Therefore, this verse explained that they are Narayan Para, simply depend on Narayan. Para means dependent. They do not mind reverses in life because in the service of Narayan, they have learned to tolerate. Why they are not disturbed? Because they have learned to tolerate. This is the characteristic of a sadhu, titikshva, karunika, titikshva.
What is the level for tolerance? What is the level for tolerance? Like till now we are hearing about tolerating. So
Example of thought-wise you are saying.
What is the level? कितने level तक tolerate करें?
Oh, what stage we should tolerate? We should tolerate to the last limit for our personal self, but there should be zero tolerance for the blasphemy of Lord or his devotees. For oneself, we are ready to tolerate anything and everything. This depends upon the level of a devotee, how much a devotee can tolerate. We cannot tolerate if somebody is not giving sweet in the prasad alabal. We cannot tolerate that paneer is not given to me. So we have to learn tolerate from actually prasad plate.
What is that tolerating in this? We can ask him to give more.
No, asking is different. Oh, he got more. He getting it. I am getting less. And they are favored. Anyway, these are interesting things.
Prabhu, if one is tolerating, he is in Sattva-guna. Does it mean that?
He's a devotee. Somebody is tolerating means he's a devotee. He's above Sattva-guna actually. In Sattva-guna, tolerance is tolerance in Sattva-guna is not easy. It's okay. Something is good. The people are tolerant but titikshva is a symptom of a devotee. It's sadhu.
If somebody is misusing that and tolerating somebody's insult or something, somebody is misusing that,
Then Krishna will arrange somebody to rectify him. Don't worry, Krishna knows. This is a good example. I remember there was some sadhu sitting and somebody was really throwing a stone on him. So he took Krishna was running there to help him. Krishna was running to help him. But then when Krishna was about to reach, he took a stone and he wanted to throw. Krishna went, do your job. So if you try yourself, then Krishna will say, okay, now my business is over. You want to do yourself? Okay, do it. So you depend upon Krishna, he will do it. So we have to, this example given. Yeah. There was some lady, she had nobody to take care of and she was a great devotee of Krishna and a Vatsalya. So Krishna came as a boy servant And he was always taking care of her. One day some old relative, from far relative, came to visit her. She said, "You never came, you never take care of me, I am anath, I have nobody to care." The boy left. So she said, "Where is the boy gone?" Because the relative left, and then she was looking for boy. She could not find boy. She said, "Krishna, Krishna." Then ultimately Krishna said, "You said you have no master. I came all the way to serve you, and then you are complaining that nobody is with you." So you have to depend upon Krishna and not ask anything from Krishna. Asking Krishna, he will run away. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. This is their excellence. This is their excellence. Anukulyena Krishna anusilanam bhaktir uttama. Anukulyena Krishna anusilanam. Madhya Leela. They are liberally engaged in the service of the Lord, and therefore they are excellent. By using the word Bhrityanam, Lord Shiva pointed out that although the Chitraketu provided one example of tolerance and excellence, all the devotees who have taken shelter of the Lord are eternal servants, are glorious. They have no eagerness to be happy by being placed in the heavenly planet, by becoming liberated or becoming one with Brahma, the supreme effulgence. These benefits do not appeal to their mind. They are simply interested in giving direct service to the Lord. What is the reason the devotees have such greatness? Parvati asked. They are fixed in Narayan Para. That is the only reason. Not only Chitraketu and others, but all the devotees have no fear. Heaven, liberation, hell are equal because they are tasteless. Why? Since they do not have the happiness of bhakti.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
so Chitraketu was able to tolerate the curse.
Chitraketu?
He was able to tolerate the curse, but he wasn't able to tolerate Parvati sitting on what she was at. How do we understand that?
Somebody should paraphrase the question. I'm not getting clear.
He's saying that Chitraketu was able to tolerate the curse, but he was not able to tolerate saying about Lord Shiva and Parvati sitting together.
Because that was in the favor of Lord Shiva. He wanted to make Lord Shiva faultless like Vishnu, that people should not criticize him like Daksh and get Vishnu Aparadh. So his intention was good. That was the earlier purpose. Yesterday we have discussed. He left because Shiva also smiled. He said same thing. They were not affected by that. That is their greatness. With many Vidyadhar ladies, Chitraketu was not affected. He was glorifying Lord. And his wife, one Parvati, sitting on lap, and he was speaking to Narad and other rishis, and he was not affected. So both are liberated. Lord Shiva and Chitraketu both are liberated. But Chitraketu felt that this example of Shiva, people may imitate and offend Shiva. So it is not good. So his intention was good, as said, but his action was not good, that he laughed loudly. So only this one mistake. And actually there's a little ego in Chitraketu, because he directly made Sankarshan. And Sankarshan's business is to curse the ego. So he used the Parvati to give curse that his ego should be smashed. And he come back to me. So this is also actually pastime, sort of pastime. Dehinam dehe sangyoga dvandva anishvara lilaya sukham dukkham vrater janma shapo anugraha evacha. Because of the action of Supreme Lord's sexual energy, living entities are conditioned in contact with material bodies. The dualities of happiness, distress, birth, death, curse and favor are natural byproduct of this contact in material world, a bad bargain, product of jivas being in the body. In Bhagavad Gita we find Maya Dekshan Prakriti Suyate Se Characharam. The material world works under the direction of Lord is Durga. But she acts under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is also confirmed in Brahma Santa. Sthiti Srishti Pralya Sadhana Shakti Ekah Chaya Yasya Bhuvanan Vibharti Durga. Durga, goddess of Parvati. Goddess Parvati, the wife of Shiva, is extremely powerful. She can create, maintain and annihilate any number of universes by her sweet will. But she acts under the direction of Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Not independently. Krishna is impartial, but because this is material world of duality, such relative terms as happiness, distress, curse, favor are created by the will of the Supreme. There is something in Bhagavad Gita where some things are created by Lord. 10th chapter. I think verse 5, 6, 7, it's a bunch of verses. No. 6, 10. These are the qualities created by me. Otherwise, do you remember? The verse I am speaking, Bhagavad Gita 10, I think it's 10. Yeah, this is here 4. Buddhir jnanam asomo kshama satyam dhamma shama sukham dukkham bhavo abhava bhayam cha bhayam eva cha abhimana samata tushtis tapodanam yasho ayasha bhavanti bhava bhutanam mateva prathik vidaha. I have created all these. You find, this is the verse I was, right? I have created all this through material energy. These are the dualities. I have created this because this is the nature of material nature. Okay, Srila Prabhupada further writes, Krishna is impartial away. Those who are not Narayan Para, pure devotee, must be disturbed by this duality of the material world. Whereas devotees who are simply attracted to the service of the Lord are not at all disturbed by it. For example, Haridas Thakur was beaten with a cane in 22 bazaars, marketplaces, but he was never disturbed. Instead, he smilingly tolerated the beating. Despite the disturbing dualities of the material world, devotees are not disturbed at all because they fix their mind on the lotus feet of the Lord and concentrate on the holy name of the Lord and do not feel the so-called pain or pleasure caused by the dualities of the material world. If one does not surrender to Narayan, he ends up in the position of, he ends up in this position. Ishwar Leelaya means by Maya, who receive her capacity through the playful glance of Lord. So Lord Leelaya means glancing of the Lord on Mahatatu. Verse 30. अविवेक कृत पुंसो है अर्थ भेद इवात्मनि गुण दोष विकल्पश्च विद एव सज्जवत कृतः. As one mistakenly consider a flower garland to be snake, or experience happiness and distress in dream, so in the material world, by the lack of careful consideration, we differentiate between happiness and distress, considering one good and other bad. Shiva is speaking. I think we should finish that, then do Gayatri, and then we will finish this chapter and start next chapter this evening. Happiness and distress of the material world of duality are both mistaken ideas. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela, it is said, Dvaite Bhadra Abhadra Jnana Saba Manodharma Ehi Bhal Ehi Manda E Saba Brahma. So manodharam, this all is mind. The distinction between happiness and distress in this material world of duality are simply mental concoction for the so-called happiness and distress are actually not, are one and the same. They are like the happiness and distress in the dream. A sleepy man creates his happiness and distress by dreaming, although actually they have no existence. The other example given in this verse is that a flower garden is originally very nice, but by mistaken, by mistake, for want of mature knowledge, one may consider it a snake. In this connection, there is a statement by Prabodhananda Saraswati. Prabhupada is quoting one verse by Prabhupada Goswami. Vishwam Purna Sukhayate. Everyone in this material world is distressed by miserable condition. But Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati says that this world is full of happiness. How is this possible? He says, Yatakarunyaha kataksha vebhavavatam tamagurume vastumaha. A devotee accepts the distress of the material world as happiness only due to the causeless mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By his personal behavior, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed that he was never distressed, but always happy in chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. One should follow the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and engage constantly in chanting the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then he will never feel the distress of the world of duality. In any condition of life, one will be happy if he chants the holy name of the Lord. In dream, we sometimes enjoy eating sweet rice and sometimes suffer as if one of our beloved family member has died. Because of the same mind and body exist in the same material world of duality, when we awake, the so-called happiness and distress of this world are no better than a false, superficial happiness of dream. The mind is the medium in both dream and wakefulness. Everything created by mind in terms of sankalp and vikalp. Sankalp, vikalp. What is the meaning of sankalp, vikalp in English? Acceptance and rejection. Is called manodharma or mental concoction. Chakravarti Pad writes, one should know that temporary creation of Maya, happiness and distress are all unreal because they are temporary. A sleepy person thinks he is eating food or having a son die. Similarly, in waking state, he thinks he experiences happiness and distress, guna dosha vikalpa. In the waking state, he thinks he experiences happiness and distress, guna dosha vikalpa. An example is given. One mistake a garland for something else, for a rope or a snake. What means like this? Okay. Verse 31. We should end here. Up till 30. We have done only 1 hour, 33 minutes. Okay. We'll start from 31. We'll finish this chapter and start next chapter. Next chapter has genealogy of the Aditi and Diti. So some 30 verses will go just by quick reading. Any question or comment?
No. We were going to do a presentation, so...
Presentation?
Shakti Mataji.
When? Today?
I thought one after each class was the plan.
How many presentations you have? 6.
6 remaining. First 2 was already done.
Sorry?
First 2 was already done. We have 6 remaining.
My God.
I thought we were going to do one after each class, but whatever you have.
Well, anyway, for me, there's no problem. You can give this some 25 20 minutes presentation now, one. I would say we should have before we start class, because everybody is fresh. Now nobody will be actually ready to listen anything. So we will start before the class. A presentation before evening class and tomorrow one before morning class. And then, so we have a couple of days we can. I thought I understood she had only one. But whatever you have, we can have, okay?